How's it going, Critter family? Hope you all are doing well. Allie just hissed at me because she doesn't really know what hissing means, but she just hissed at me when I tried to move her from my chair because she took my chair, and yet she hisses at me. Now she's over there in the corner taking a bath, and she's just grumpy. So anyway, today we're going over a new creator that I found. This is called Proactive Dog Training. The name of the channel is Proactive Dog Training. We'll see if they're good or not, or if I agree with them or not. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're good or bad, just whether I agree with them or not, and nobody cares what I think. You know, or I'm not the one all end all be all of dog training. I'm just trying to point out things that they may be sneaky about with hiding, or maybe we can, get them some more subscribers if they deserve them. If they are, actually proactive with their training. So this is Bodhi First Day Proofing. So we're going to see what kind of tools they use, how they work. It looks like from here the dog might have two different collars on. I like this nice wide flat buckle collar, but I can't tell if they have two collars on or not. I guess we're just going to have to see.
There you go.
Cool. All right. So I have this Bodhi. You guys saw the video, or probably will see the video of when I was testing him earlier.
So I can't tell. It looks like there's another collar on right here. So we're going to see if this is a shock collar or not. We'll see.
Just doing a quick session just to see.
Okay, so we've got a choke chain. And a collar. Or no, that's a prong collar. That is a prong collar. And what looks like a regular collar. Okay, so I already don't like that. But we've got the double collar going on.
How he did with his play.
That's definitely a prong collar. Oh my goodness, Ellie is going absolutely psycho. So, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with prong collars. I think that they're cruel and unnecessary, but we'll see how he trains.
With his walk. Something that I hadn't tested was.
We got our little treat pouch. We'll see if he actually uses it. If you're using this, then you don't need a prong collar. Take out the middleman, and you don't need to use aversive methods with dogs. Especially, I'm assuming this dog pulls, so this dog is going to rely on using the prong collar. The dog will not rely on it. The humans will rely on using the prong collar to keep the dog from pulling pretty much forever, unless they teach the dog not to pull, because pulling is a learned behavior that the dog will have learned to do. And it doesn't mean the dog should have to pay for that just because the humans have taught the dog to pull. I am going to show you a quick example of how I teach a dog not to pull. So I use pressure and release. I can use it on a harness. That's all I ever use is a harness, or maybe a wide flat buckle collar. I don't need any prong collar. I don't need a choke chain. I don't need a shock collar. I don't need anything like that. I'm using a harness, and I'm using pressure and release. And you're going to see how light I am.
I don't want him to eat this grass, which he likes to eat. Fingers.
Now this first time he's going to come because he wanted to go over here and eat. So he has a draw to the grass, makes him itchy, so I'm putting a little bit of pressure on him and release. A little more pressure, fingers worth, pressure, 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 release. I say it every time, but I miss this little guy. This is my Shiba, Adonis. For those of you new to the channel or who don't know, he passed away, or I said goodbye to him 2 years ago.
Bring him away, loosen. That much.
But he was a good boy.
Now, he's even pulling a lot more than normal because he wants to chew on this grass.
Hi, Ellie.
But he gets itchy from it. I don't want him eating that, so this is just...
He was allergic to the grass in the area, so he would always rub his face off and his feet. So if we're walking and I come to a dead stop, he has an 8-foot leash here.
If I don't want him to pull, I will just stop walking.
I stop walking. Whoop.
Leash gets tight.
I'm going to show you just a finger's worth.
This much. We're going to move him to the side.
I move to the side to take him off balance a little bit, make it a little bit easier on him. I'm going to show you that again.
Stop walking forward. Leash gets tight. You can see I use this much. We're going to move him to the side. Pressure, pressure, step, loosen.
That's how I teach loose leash walking. Let's see how he, this is Bodhi's first day proofing. So we're going to see if he's just loose leash walking or what all he's doing.
Tested was the recalls. Of course, I forgot his remote collar, so I'm going to go.
So he does have a shock collar. So this guy is a bunch of baloney. The dog not only has a shock collar that this idiot forgot the remote for, good thing he did. This dog also has a prong collar. So this guy is a bunch of baloney, in my opinion.
just leash today since I forgot the remote. Oh well.
Oh well, yeah. Because when you teach a dog, when you rely on prong collars and shock collars, then you have to remember to bring the collar or the remote. You can't have your dog actually reliable off leash without the threat of that correction. Without, if you forget the remote, you're out of luck. Or you can pop him on the leash. Or if you don't have your leash or you don't have your collar, your special collar, when you use positive reinforcement, you don't have to worry about having a remote with you.
I'm gonna start by calling him. Bodhi, here. Not coming.
Ow, 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 ow.
Bodhi, here.
Ouch.
Yes, come in.
So instead of using the prong collar, which is too low, way too low, the prong collar should be where the shock collar is if you want to use it correctly. I don't think there's any correct way to use a prong collar. I think it's a bunch of baloney. If you have the prong collar high and tight, it's a constant correction, a constant I'm taking your head off, constant threat, constant annoyance, and then you pop and then it hurts even more. So he talks about he's act all, good boy, oh yeah, he's a good boy. Baloney. You just hurt the dog with a prong collar that's too low on their throat. If you want to use it correctly, you're a bunch of baloney, dude. So what I mean by that is, what I should be saying is, you don't need any of this. Scooch. Thank you. I had to move Allie out of the way. You don't need to use this. If you want, you can follow. You don't have to follow me, but what I would have done is I would have the dog on harness. I wouldn't have a prong collar. I wouldn't have a shock collar. I wouldn't have any of that nonsense on. I would have the dog on harness. And if I want him to come to me, if he is facing this way, say, I'm going to meet over here. I'm going to try and get in front of his shoulder. I'm going to try and get in front of his blind spot. And I'm going to try, and as soon as he looks at me, I'm going to bend down and start backing away. So just as he was bent down like this, I would do this and start backing away. But I'm not going to have to pop and drag the dog to me. He had to pop the dog, ouch, several times to get the dog to come to him, to reward him.
Whoa.
He's acting way more positive than he actually may feel or than he needs to, because he's using a prong collar and a shock collar. If he had the remote, then he would just be holding the button and it would be shock, 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 shock until the dog gets to him. You don't need to train this way. In fact, studies have shown and proven that when you train with aversives, you ruin the bond with your dog. You lessen the bond with your dog. This guy is I'm sure this dog is a board and train, so this dog would have no or not much. Scoochies. What are you going after? Would not have much of a bond with this guy anyway, but with the owners. So all the more reason why you shouldn't be using these methods, because the owners have to have good time if it's a board and train, and he's going to cause the bond between the owner and the person, or the owner and the dog to be diminished. So you don't need to use any of this stuff. It seems like you get quick results with it, and you get results with it. How quick depends on how you use it. And how harsh you are with it, because the dog is learning. What the dog is learning by doing this is the dog is learning to avoid correction and punishment.
Good man. Bodhi, here.
He didn't have to use the correction that time.
What a good man.
The dog drops it.
Whoa. Good job, Bodhi. All right, I'm going to let him get distracted again, and we're going to do another recall soon.
So you're going to let him get distracted so you can correct him. He's pulling. He's pulling a good bit there, and he's not worried about it. I'd be more worried about the dog pulling than recall right now. So he's going to let the dog get distracted. Okay. I thought he was going to let him get distracted by sniffing and then pop him and then call him to him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. He's still going to pop him anyway to call him to him. Ouch. Shaking off because it's painful, because it's uncomfortable at the least and painful at the most. It's discomfort. The dog is feeling discomfort.
Very slow. So it's like I had to make it happen. He wasn't going to do it on his own.
So you had to make it happen because you're failing at training. You're failing at training because you're not learning how to work with the dog the way a dog understands. I mean, dogs understand correction and reward, but you get more bees, with honey than you do vinegar. You don't need to use this nonsense. I think this trainer would be is capable, just like any trainer is capable of using positive reinforcement in a very effective manner. Positive reinforcement isn't, it's not about I'm right and you're wrong. It's about what is more effective. And positive reinforcement has been proven to be more effective than aversive training in a lot of aspects of training. The dog has a better bond with you. The dog has quicker results. The dog is not afraid of punishment. You don't have to rely on certain tools. You don't have to lose a hand because you're always holding onto the remote or you have it hanging from your neck. So I'm not talking about I'm right and this guy is wrong. I'm talking about what's necessary and what's unnecessary. And this guy's training is unnecessary.
Because he's distracted. This is the perfect time.
So if he's distracted, then you need to go back to where he's not distracted. You don't go, or if you're proofing him, this is his first day proofing, then he seems like he's over threshold. If he's pulling this hard on a leash because he's sniffing, he's never been here before, I like to come here to a place a couple of times and let the dog just get the sniffs out. Or if I'm training, I like to come to a place, I've been there before, and I like to come and give them 5 or 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes of sniffing to get their sniffs out. And then we start working and training. I'm not going to just sit here and start, coming to a new place and then start popping and expecting the dog to listen to me, because it's not fair for the dog. Yeah, he was going to use the e-collar. He would be more effective using the e-collar because the e-collar, the shock collar, causes more pain than the prong collar does. Quit chewing on that. You're coming here. Yes. You're going over here. Go over here. Good girl. Or you're going to get locked out.
We can do it with the leash today. It's his first day out anyway, so I'm expecting.
Of course, Ellie's muting me all over the place. Sniff. All right, you gotta go this way. So it would be more effective. He would get a quicker recall using the e-collar because it's more painful than the prong collar. Otherwise, he's going to have to give this dog harsher pops to get this dog to come. Or in this case that I've seen him doing multiple pops to get the dog to come, which is not effective. Even with the e-collar, it's effective, but it's not necessary. None of this is necessary.
Him to be, especially with 6 years of marking and just doing his own thing when he goes out, I understand him not caring about coming. Bodhi, here. Yes.
See, that's all he needs. He doesn't need. See, he's capable of having good timing and good reflexes, and he doesn't need the prong collar. He would be so much better off just using positive reinforcement because there's no failing with that. There's no fallout with that.
That was so nice, my buddy.
Why doesn't he just feed the dog? I mean, I don't know why he doesn't just feed the dog versus tossing it towards him. Maybe the dog is a chomper and eats his hand.
Good job. You're a good man.
Good. I would continue to reward for the dog paying attention to me.
Free for a moment, sadly. It's a little chilly and that scares people from bringing their dogs out.
So he wants people to bring their dogs out so he can correct this dog for being possibly reactive towards other dogs or distracted around other dogs. Because trainers like this rely on corrections. They rely on waiting for the dog to do something that they deem to be the wrong behavior so they can correct the dog. When the dog is just doing a natural behavior. The dog is just acting natural. The dog is not doing anything wrong.
So, you can tell it's chilly by my outfit.
So the dog is just chilling. The dog really has no other bond with him. It doesn't seem to be checking in at all, which I'm fine with. I don't care if a dog, I will reward a dog absolutely for checking in with me, but I don't necessarily require it. But it depends on the dog. I don't require constant check-ins, but if I have a reactive dog, then I might want a few more check-ins than that.
It's not a big deal. It's his first time out. So dogs are not mean at the moment. As you can see, just the smell is getting distracted.
So he's pulling. Prong collar barely helps that.
Here.
Ouch. And that was 2 pops versus 1.
Oh, sorry. I'm here.
See, he really seems to be afraid to feed the dog with his hand.
Good man. Not again. Even this, like on to other things, but we're still not getting a really, really good recall when he's distracted.
But you don't need the e-collar for that. You need to work on what you're doing. You need to work on being a less. Oh, sorry, baby girl. I scared her. I went to go pet her and I scared her. You need to work on being in a less distracting area. If he is too distracting, you're not getting a good recall. I mean, you've probably never been here before, and you've been working on it for a total of under 3 minutes. You've been working less than 3 minutes on this, and you expect your dog to be this dog to be perfect on his first day proofing. So I don't know how long he's been working with this dog for, but if this is a new environment, I would let the dog get their sniffs out, and then I would start working with them. But no, he's going to blame it on, oh, I forgot the e-collar, so I'm not going to get the results that I wanted to.
Like here, let's see. Bodhi, here.
Ouch, that was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You know?
So many pops.
I'm wanting him to not have to think about it. Right now he's still going in a minute. When I finish doing this.
So that means that the shock collar is at a much higher level than whatever correction he's getting with this prong collar. Because that was pretty hard, and the dog still learned to ignore it. So he has a shock collar on a high enough level to make this dog in pain enough to say, ouch, that hurts, I need to come back. Yeah, if you had been giving him time to sniff
Bodhi,
and then...
Here! Yes! That's it!
Lip lick, lip lick, lip lick.
Okay, that one was great. Now we're going to leave him alone for a minute. Go ahead and pause it.
We're rolling.
Alright, so we're going to do a little bit of recall to sit. He was doing good. Seeing a dog, but it's one of ours. However, he doesn't know that, looks like. Bodhi, here!
Lip lick, lip lick.
Sit. Yes, my man.
See, why does he have the shock collar on when he doesn't have the remote with him? This shock collar is on 24/7 for this dog. These types of collars, again, way too low on the esophagus. Not that it really, I don't think it matters at all where this collar is on the dog, but, as far as the appropriate way to use it, it's pressing down on his esophagus. It would be pressing on him anyway, but, it takes more pressure here than it does up here. But he has the damn shock collar on. Which he doesn't even have the remote for. So this has to be on probably 24/7. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't care.
Stay. Good job. So easy stuff at first. Just to make sure. Go. Just to make sure he understands,
He doesn't have to move just because you said free. Why not allow him, rope in the eye, why not allow him to stay there if he wants to and then continue to reinforce that stay? Or let him move when he wants to. So again, first day proofing, and he's trying to do as many difficult things as he possibly can. Looking for trouble, looking for dogs. Calls them lip licks. So I would not say sit. That's a rookie mistake, I think, because if you call your dog to you, you want them to, and then you lure them into sit, or you wait for them to sit, then you reward them, and they say, okay, I come back and I get rewarded for coming and sitting. Otherwise, if you say come and then you say sit, the dog thinks they're getting rewarded for sit, not the recall. Ow.
No. Sit. Good. Stay.
Dog is showing signs of stress. Stress panting.
No. Sit. Stay.
So he doesn't need to say no. He failed the dog by making it too hard for the dog to do. No. I would love to tell this guy no and put a prong collar and a shock collar on his neck. He doesn't need to say anything to the dog. I would just simply go pick it up and reset the dog and try again. And if the dog goes again, then I would just say, okay, I'm working too fast. The dog doesn't need to be told no. It doesn't need a prong collar correction. It doesn't need a shock collar correction. It doesn't need anything. Which I wonder if he had the remote, if he would be shocking the dog as a way to correct the dog with the e-collar, the shock collar.
Stay. Nice. Yes, my man. Good. Stay.
I would pick up that treat there because it's still there. I would have picked it up. Dog is showing stress.
Good man. Good man. Alright, now we got, oh, look at that, doggy.
So now he's going to go harass other dogs to correct his dog in case his dog reacts. See, his dog is already pulling very, very tight. Very tight. And he doesn't care about that. He's not stopping that. He's letting this dog pull and go wherever he wants to, but as long as he acts, as long as he does his obedience, then he's fine. But he's letting this dog pull on leash.
A lab, okay. Yeah. Bodie, here.
Ouch. He repeated the cue 3 times and popped him twice.
As soon as we got a dog distraction, I had to actually pop him again.
Well, that's your fault. That's not the dog's fault. That's your failing of training. The dog doesn't need to be paid, doesn't need to be corrected for that.
I'm gonna keep doing recalls to sit stay, but to not kill my phone and have a crazy long video, we're gonna end it there.
So, I think this guy is not very good of a trainer. That's just, I think he could be a better trainer if he practiced positive reinforcement, because you have to be a better trainer with timing and be more patient, and you can't rely on a prong collar to pop the dog. And I think the dog is just overstimulated and in too new of an area. So if you're proofing them, then you need to go back to kindergarten, and you need, well, as they say, you need to go back to preschool and work on the basics in a way that you don't have to rely on a prong collar. That's just my opinion. That's just my thoughts. So this is proactive dog training, not proactive at all, in my opinion. But let me know what you think of the video. Go say how to do your little critters. Say how to do for me. Give them some kind of love and they appreciate. And until next time, practice peace, patience, and positivity.